I didn't know that was the go live button. Wait. Wait. I didn't know that was go live. Like, what is this little button for? I don't know what this means.
Oh shit, hang on.
Oh, I'm not ready yet. Wait, why is it so zoomed in? It wasn't like this on the normal camera. Alright, hang on, we gotta scoot this back. Oh, now I have to sit back more. Oh. Hang on. This is inconvenient. Stream manager? Oh shit, I don't want to do that. No, go back. Alright. I can't. Alright, we gotta move this. We gotta move this shit. Oh. Hello. Oh man, oh shit, well we really are live. People are joining. Hello Matthew. Hello. Good morning. It's Owen Aeon, your sparkly racing cat. Can you hear me? I'm using the lav mic. But I don't know if that's like the default mic with Twitch or not. Let me know if you can hear me and if there's a lot of noise. I have noise canceling on. Yes, but robotic? Oh. Okay, what about now? How's the audio now? Hang on. I've never done this before, so like I don't even know. Can hear the wave sound, but your voice is very staticky. Okay. Do you hear me tapping? Do you hear that tapping? I might just have to hold the mic up to my mouth. If you don't hear the tapping, then the mic is coming through the phone and not the tapping coming out normal. Okay. Alright. I'm just going to hold the mic up to my mouth. Evo, hello. Good morning. I've reached the Pacific. I've reached the Pacific. Let's see if we can get some waves in here. There we go. I was hoping to like do a little like, hi, it's Owen Aeon, your sparkly racing cat, but like I wasn't really prepared. I had this idea I could do like an IRL, and we put like popsicle sticks on a little like standee, and then we like hold it like this, and Saku and I were talking about doing some kind of like off collab when she gets here. So we'll see if that happens. I'm in a really weird position because like I arranged my blanket like long ways. It's a small blanket. But like I had to like lean back to actually like look at the camera. Anyway, yeah, I made it to San Francisco. I made it to the Pacific. It's my first time on the West Coast. Yeah, there's no redeems today. I turned all the redeems off because obviously I'm doing this from my phone. I'm doing this from my phone, and I don't have OBS running, so we're just gonna have to deal with it today. But yeah, man, I had an adventure yesterday. That was like a full day lost. Traveling, that's the thing I worry about most when traveling long distance is basically like, you just have to like write off a day. You just have to say, okay, like, this day, no matter what, like, it's not gonna be productive, right? It's not gonna be productive. You're not gonna get anything done. But you're gonna go on an adventure, and boy, it was an adventure. So, I booked like an afternoon flight. I was able to like take a plane out, What if I showed it from the wind? Does it still sound like it? It might just be because of the bitrate, because I'm connected through 5G. So maybe the audio is just not going to work well. So, I'm sorry for the audio quality. Does the video look good at least? There's like no options in this. Still static. What's staticky about it? Okay. I'm trying noise canceling again. We're gonna see if this works well. Let me actually pin this the opposite way, because it's very windy. It's very windy at the beach. I wonder if the static is just because of the bitrate. If there's a certainty of static, I'm 100%. Well, at least you can still understand me, so I apologize for the sound quality. Actually, let's move that over here so I can see it better. And then I can actually read that without leaning back and straining my neck so much. Oh. I got a Moto land in here with me. I got a little friend to travel with. Practice your beep boop, destroy all humans. God, the Twitch app for streaming on mobile is like so annoying. It constantly shows like who followed me last up at the top, and it's just like this guy followed me yesterday, and it just like won't go away. It won't go away. For some reason that was fine. What do you mean? Did I say Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, the mic is just like plug and play. It should be working fine. Let me disconnect it and reconnect it. Maybe that'll work. Alright, can you hear anything? Can you hear anything now? Does it sound different? Because that should be coming through my phone now. And that should suck. Like, that should be really shitty. It's better? It's better through the phone than through the lav mic? That's awful. The static is gone, but you're quiet. Okay. We're gonna try the lav mic again. Alright, I'm plugging it in. Okay, now what do you hear? Does it sound better, or does it sound worse? I just had to turn down. Yeah, I'm probably turned down for most people because it's a different audio setup today. It sounds robotic. Wow. Okay, let me restart the mic. So we're doing a test stream here. Okay, we're gonna try mic number 2. How does mic number 2 sound? Sorry for getting set up. This is a good test though for like IRL stuff if I want to do more IRL stuff. So this is like the number 2 mic on the lav mics. Is it still staticky? Static? What the fuck? Okay, what if I unplug my charger? How does it sound now? There's no pulse too. It's cold. It's like mid-50s. Is that any different, or is it staticky? I wonder if it's just the Lark setup is just not great with my phone. Phone is considerably more clear. Okay, so it's still bad. It's still staticky. Damn, I'm sorry. That's so annoying. I spent $100 on this setup. I spent $100 on this setup to like be able to do stuff like this, and it's not even working. That's so annoying. I'll have to like play with it later. I didn't bother playing with it before I left. So now yeah, because I unplugged everything. All right, I'm gonna plug my charger back in. All right. Well, I guess I'll just like lean down into the phone and like arch my back and then talk to you all. But anyway. All right, I guess I'm here now. Let me blow my nose. I wonder if it's just because my phone is just older now. I have a Galaxy S22, and it's got a lot of like issues. It's kind of accrued over time. But I don't want to upgrade it because I don't want all the AI bullshit yet, and it's working just fine for the most part. But I'm a little salty about the mic not working. Maybe I'll try it again later. I'll like restart and give it another go. But anyway, so yesterday was an adventure. Hey Jace, hello. Yesterday was an adventure. So I got an afternoon flight out of the East Coast. So it was like nice, 12:45. I got to like sit down, have some lunch, and if you're following me along on Discord, I'm posting, travelogue stuff along the way, what's going on, because it's like I don't really have anybody to talk to as I go along. I mean, I'm sending stuff to my family, but like it's fun to kind of like travelogue things along the way. The first flight was fine. I was feeling not great. So I took my so I get motion sickness. And I always got really bad motion sickness on planes when I was a kid. So, it was always like, all right, take your Dramamine, your anti-motion sickness pills, grab the barf bag, make sure the barf bag's available. And I would basically vomit almost every flight. And this was a combination of like motion sickness plus anxiety, because I would have like turbo anxiety as a kid. Because like in the news all the time, all I would see was like plane crashes, like TWA Flight 800 when that exploded, flying out of New York, like just spontaneously exploding in midair. Crashes like all over the news. So I was freaked out as a kid. So constantly I was like, this is it, the next plane ride, it's gonna be the one, it's gonna spontaneously fucking explode and we're all gonna die. So I had a lot of anxiety about flying as a kid, but I did it a lot. Like we would fly like a couple times a year. I'd go see my grandparents. We'd go down to Florida to vacation in Florida. So it was very common for me to get on planes, but I never got over the anxiety. The curse of knowledge, exactly. I mean, I was just a scared kid in general. Like, fire safety stuff was really big when I was a kid, and that freaked me out too, because I was like, I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night, the house is gonna be on fire, and we're all gonna die. We're all gonna burn alive in our house. Gotta make our escape plan, right? Because the big thing was like, make an escape plan, make sure everybody knows the escape plan. So I would make like escape plans and things like that, and like beg my parents for like, fucking escape ladders and things like that to, get out of the second floor bedroom. And so like a lot of that anxiety contributed to like the fear of flying and fear of all that. But yeah, I was not anxious this time. I mean, I had a little bit, you get a little like, okay, I'm like, I haven't flown in a very long time. It's, it's like new again. But like, I know what's going to happen. And, I've kind of quelled my anxiety a lot over the last like year or so by, just like working on myself, getting medicated and all that stuff. So I wasn't really anxious. So I had a lunch, I had a, club sandwich at a bar in the airport. I met a nice lady who was, flying down to Florida, and I was like talking to her, and she had a whole story. She's like retired, and she had a double lung transplant. I was like, holy shit, you got a double lung transplant? And she's been, living with that for like over a year now, and just very, very sweet and kind, talked about work and things like that. So, I like to, talk to strangers when I travel. I like to meet people and know what they're doing and what their lives are like. So that was nice. And then, I finished my lunch, and it was about 15 to 20 minutes before boarding, and I'm like, okay, well, I got like 30 minutes till the plane takes off. Time to take my Dramamine, my motion sickness pills. And did you tell her you were a VTuber? No, I didn't. Hello, Big Ham. I did not tell her I was a VTuber. It was just a very surface level conversation. I mean, surface level, but like in a like an emotional capacity. Like I like to kind of like connect with people on an emotional level. So I would talk about, just like what's going on in my life right now, and like what I'm doing at work. And she was telling me she worked as like an HR manager for like 35 years and stuff. And we're talking about like,
DEI initiatives, like in our workplaces, like how I'm big on diversity, equity, and inclusion where I work, and I'm, you know, like I like to be in workplaces that have that as like a big focus, and you know, she was very much, you know, on board with me, and we didn't get too political, but it was very much, you know, just like we kind of connected on that level. So I really like to just, you know, talk to strangers about what's up, you know, what's up with you, what's up with me. And it's like, you know, you're never going to see them again, but at least we both had a nice conversation at the bar, and you know, you exchanged names, but it wasn't like oh, can I have your number, I want to, like, you know, connect with you again. It's just a little nice thing, people just, you know, having a good conversation. So I took my motion sickness pills, got on the plane. I was one of the last people on the plane, so immediately I was like, oh shit, I've heard that, like, you know, everyone brings on like carry-ons these days, and I've heard that, you know, because I haven't flown in so many years, that like finding space for your carry-on can be really annoying, like if you're like one of the last to board, because like a lot of the bins are already full. So I had to like go back like 4 or 5 rows, find a bin to put my bag in, and then I had to walk back to my seat, and there was already a line behind me, so I was like already fucking up, because I was like sorry, can you just move back just a little bit just so I can get my seat. So I was already like fuck, awkward fuck. I felt bad about that, but you know, I got in my seat. I'm telling everybody, I'm like, I haven't flown in like you know, years. I haven't flown in like 20 years, and they're like, oh my god, you haven't flown in like 20 years. And that's just like my anxiety talking. And then so I sit down, and the lady, I was between two women, so it was like a, you know, an elderly lady by the window, and then like a college student to the right of me. And the window was closed, and I'm like, damn, I really want to watch out the window for like takeoff. So I asked the elderly lady next to me, hey, can we just like open the window for takeoff? I really want to like look out the window while we take off. And she was like, oh yeah. So she opened the window for me, and I was very, very thankful for that. And it was just like taking off in a plane for the first time in so long, and I'm kind of a plane nerd too. Like I love airliners. I just think they're so cool. My fascination probably started with like the fear, but like I really love, you know, just the whole concept, and the whole like human achievement of flight is just so fascinating to me. That, you know, we have these big metal tubes that, you know, we can just make them go really fast and throw them up in the air, and they just do what they do. It's absolutely fascinating to me, and I don't think it'll ever stop being fascinating. So, you know, she very, very graciously opened the window for me, and I, you know, got to watch as we took off. And man, there's like no other feeling like that full thrust, you know, takeoff, getting pushed back into your seat, the rumbling, the rattling, the roar, the liftoff, the drop, you know, as, you know, the landing gear comes off the ground. And I got a little emotional. I was like, man, I couldn't stop. I had my mask on because you know, I don't want to get sick, and getting stuck in a metal tube for hours on end, you know, it's like the germs are everywhere. So I've been wearing a mask as I've been traveling, because I really don't want to get sick. And but I was grinning like an idiot through my mask like the whole time during takeoff. And it was just so exciting, and I almost started crying. It was just really special to do this again, and to go somewhere, and, you know, go on an adventure. So that was really cool. Let me catch up on chat. I like how the wind is blowing your picture like it's animated while you're talking. It is. Oh no, I lost chat. Owen's model is frozen. He's stuck in. I can never initiate conversations with strangers. It depends. I gotta like kind of feel out the vibe. When it's like a couple traveling together and they're mostly talking to each other, I kind of leave them alone. But when it's like a solo, like somebody solo, and they, you know, I've got like a good vibe about them, I kind of like strike up a conversation. I'm just like, hey, where are you going? Where are you off to? You know, not in a like, you know, stalkery way, or like a, hey, I'm trying to get information out of you, but like just a friendly, you know, hey, what you up to? How are you? And I think that my my physical presence kind of helps with that, because I am like a very short white adorable cat boy that is non-threatening. And people like always come up to me to ask me for directions, because it kind of looks like I know what I'm doing, even when I'm in like major cities. Like, I don't live there, I just know how to get around because I can read Google Maps. But people are always coming up to me for directions, like on subway platforms and like train platforms and stuff. It's really funny. I guess I just look like I know what I'm doing. IRL Fugi reactive? Hell yeah. Yep, this is what you're here for. Well, this is an unexpected bit of nice news. Hello, Rahi. Hello, how are you? Chill beach time? Yeah, it's chill. It is chilly. It's very chilly today. It's 56 degrees, overcast. There's a little bit of drizzle. You know, I didn't like look at the weather for San Francisco this time of year. I just know it's usually like around 70. But I was not expecting like cold, drizzly San Francisco, especially in June. But I guess June is not summer for California. From what I understand, it's like July through September, even October is summer, and June is like still like spring, like cold spring. Meanwhile, back at home where I live, it's like 90s. And I think in San Jose, it's going to be 90s as well. It's kind of crazy, the climate's here. It's like the bay right here, it's like pretty chilly. But down, you know, you travel just a little bit, like an hour and a half south, and it's much warmer. But I packed shorts. I have slacks. I have shorts. I got a couple of long sleeve shirts. I got my Hololive jacket from Omo Cat I'm wearing right now. So I am a bit chilly, but I'm not cold yet, which is good. Owen in real? No way. Yeah, way. I mean, you get me real every Friday night, to be fair, for Friday night DDR. They're even big. Hang on. It's really annoying to scroll through chat here. There are even bigger metal tubes that we throw even higher. Yes, there are. Looks like British beach is great. Yeah, gray, chilly. Yeah, it's not great right now. But I made it a point. If I'm going on a vacation like this, I'm gonna book an Airbnb close to the beach. So I definitely wanted to be at the beach. Even if this is the only beach time I get, that's fine. I'm gonna be doing like tourist things in the city in San Francisco today. So I'm gonna do some stuff. I won't tell you where I'm going exactly, but I am gonna be exploring the downtown area. I think I'm gonna go check out Chinatown. I'm gonna go on a boat cruise. I'm gonna go on like a short boat cruise to go see the Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz. So I figure that's a good way to start to do like my first day in SF. And then tomorrow I have another full day, which I haven't decided what I'm gonna do yet. Probably more downtown adventures. I think I might go to an art museum, but I'm not sure yet. We'll have to see. There's this really cool tour you can do, which I saw on, you know, I'll just say it, I use TripAdvisor. I like going on TripAdvisor and just seeing what the normie adventure things are. And there's this like not a go-kart tour, but like very like miniature cars that are like quasi like self-driving that you can rent and go on like a 2 or 3 hour tour of downtown San Francisco. And it's like a GPS guided tour where like you literally get in this car and you can bring another person with you and you can drive it around, and it'll take you to like, you know, some of the you know, most well-known touristy spots. You know, the famous, like, what do you call it, like the hill neighborhood with the switchbacks. And you can drive those like little streets in that. It's a little expensive, but I'm thinking about doing it. It looks like one of those things. It's kind of like, it probably pisses off the locals because the cars are probably really annoying and idiots probably drive them who don't know what they're doing. But it's sort of very unique, and I'm here for like unique kind of you know, experiences, right? It's kind of like you don't get to do things like that in your normal day-to-day. It's sort of like I save them for like vacation. Hang on. Just gonna adjust myself here. I gotta like lay on my side to like get down to the camera. Oh, I'm striking a sexy pose right now and you can't see it. Also, my socks are getting in the sand. Fuck. I gotta take off my socks. I gotta put my feet in the sand, but it's fucking cold. Currently 70 in New York City but it's because it's raining right now. Yeah. That said, I was in Wales a week ago and it was super hot and bright there. Oh man. So I posted about it on the Discord. I really loved watching Sea-Dog and Pete do their generational Welsh adventure a couple weeks ago, where Connor brought Pete around Wales and they had a good time. Hello, Leah! Thank you so much for the raid. Hello. Sorry, I don't have any alerts on. We're doing an IRL stream here. I think this is the first time I'm ever streaming through my phone. Thank you so much for the raid. Good morning. Is it afternoon yet? I don't even know. I'm on West Coast time now. It's 10 a.m. in the West Coast. Probably 11, 12, 1 p.m. on the East Coast. So it's afternoon for some of us. Let's see. Let me scroll up a bit. Oh, if you scroll on the mobile, it just like skips all the way down again. If somebody talks. So hang on. How do I? If I hold my finger, will it stay? I used to work on a beach for 2 summers. Yeah. That's cool. Also probably annoying. Wolf Doggo Mado Rado. Wolf Doggo Mado Rado. Hello. Hello Zodlex. Hello Misuki. Hello Wakuzi. Hello Leah Sunspot. Hello Zoe Sight. Wait, Zoe Sight was here already, sorry. I'm so glad I have AC, yeah. Well, you get to bring home some California sand in your socks, yeah. Def probably. Carrion Finch, hello. Underfighter, hello. Owen Real, so glad you made it safely there. Me too. Velvet, hello. Howdy, howdy. The beach looks lovely. It's chilly and cold, but I'm glad to be here. I actually walked down to the water, and I touched the water. I don't know, I'm very sentimental. I'm very much like a... Very much like I made it to the Pacific. I have touched the waters of the Pacific. Kind of bucket list items. I'm about the bucket list items. Let me readjust the camera here. Hang on. Oh. I'm gonna just lay down on my stomach. That'll make it easier. Ugh. Let me get the... I think Randon can sit in the sand. He'll be fine. Oh, fuck. Nope. His ass is gonna be covered in sand. Let's just readjust here. Wait, we gotta get him like a seat. Boop. Mado Randon. Alright. Let's get a little more beach in there. Okay. That's a classic beach towel right there. Yeah, this is like cheap ass. This was like the $5 let's see, I think it was Rhode Island, like Rhode Island beach special. I used to go to Rhode Island because it was cheap, but it was nice. Let's see. Sorry, catching up on chat here. Yeah, I've been there. Been here? Yeah. Yeah, I won't say where I am exactly, but locals and people who have been in the area will probably know where I am. So I'm not going to stay too long. The wind wiggling the photo has the charm of a PNG tuber shaking when talking. Yeah, it's so cute. Hopefully you can keep warm. I'm pretty good right now, actually. My HoloLive track jacket is pretty nice. The wind kind of blows through it a little bit, so it's not good for like cold weather, but it is. I can feel it warming up a little bit. It's supposed to get up to 70 today, but again, it is overcast and windy. I went to a 7-Eleven to pick up some snacks. I got my Catboy breakfast, which is a pink Red Bull and a Nature's Valley granola bar. And I got some like Pringles and stuff, and I was like, do they have sunscreen here? They did not have any sunscreen at the 7-Eleven. It's so weird because it's like literally a block from the beach, and they didn't have fucking sunscreen. Like, what? So I won't stay out too long because UV rays do go through cloud cover, so I will get sunburned, but I'm pretty covered up. And I don't want to stream too long because I want to go downtown and go explore Chinatown and everything else going on. I want to go see the city. Is this, like, trying to focus, like, continuously? Can we stop? There we go. Let me catch up on chat. How do you, I want to freeze chat. If anyone's streamed on mobile before, let me know if I can, like, freeze chat in place. Awesome. I'm late, but nice sand. Hello, Seishun. Hello. Sorry, everybody. No alerts or redeems today. Oh, Misuki, thank you for the follow. My bucket list is not much. I have to go on a nerd pilgrimage to Nottingham before I die. In the UK? Why do you want to go to Nottingham? What's in Nottingham? I need to go on a pilgrimage to KSC, the Kerbal Space Center. Oh no, the Kennedy Space Center. The Kennedy Space Center. Yeah, Zoe's like, me too. I definitely want to go do that. I wanted to go to the last shuttle launch. That was a bucket list item for me, but I did not get the opportunity to do that. So I'm a little sad I missed out on that. In Daytona, yeah, I want to go to Daytona as well. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. That's good. 70 degrees is pretty nice. Yeah. Well, hopefully it gets up to that. My hands are like frozen right now. I gotta like stick them in my jacket. Windbreakers are surprisingly bad at breaking the wind. Yeah, and this isn't really a windbreaker. It's like a fabric track jacket. So and it's very breathable. So the wind kind of goes like right through it. Kerbal. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm a big Kerbal Space Program fan. I got a scoop, but I hope you have a great day and a lovely trip. Thank you, Leah. Take care. Nottingham is where Games Workshop is. Oh, I may have opinions about the company, but the IP is still cool as fuck, as is the idea of getting a pint at Bugman's Brewery. It was very much not in the right place at the right time to catch any shuttle launches. One was in orbit when I was born, though. Nice. Alright, what happened yesterday? Yeah, so I grabbed lunch, met a nice lady at the bar, got on the plane. I had my Dramamine about like 30 minutes before takeoff, and that was not enough. I didn't throw up, but I felt sick. So like we took off. My stomach was doing backflips like right off the bat. So I was very much like oh no, and I was like a little hot and sweaty. But I wasn't getting the like I'm gonna vom immediately. So I kept it together. I just kind of like looked out the window and then like kind of like looked straight ahead. I noticed I would feel pretty bad every time I looked down at my phone because I was trying to get the Wi-Fi to work. So like apparently Delta is supposed to have pretty alright Wi-Fi on the plane, but like I just could not get it working. Like I connected, but it was like nothing would load. I could do like a Google search maybe every like 5 minutes, but like Discord didn't work. Nothing really worked. I couldn't really do anything. Not that I'm like expecting it to work, because I was not expecting it to work, but like all the kids around me, they were all scrolling TikTok and they were watching like live streams and shit, and I was like, wait, why are their phones getting like high-speed internet and I'm getting absolutely nothing? And I restarted my phone and everything, so I don't know what the deal is with that, but yeah, it just didn't work. I'm not sure if it's Delta or United that has Starlink on certain planes. I'm pretty sure they all do at this point. They probably all have Starlink. But everybody around me was like scrolling TikTok the entire flight, and I was like kind of salty because I was like, I just want to talk to my friends on Discord, and I can't even send a text message. Like, what the fuck? But anyway, my backup plan was I got some manga to read. So the latest 2 volumes of Metalist I haven't read yet. The latest volume, I think it's volume 12, just came out yesterday. So I had that preloaded on my iPad. And I also got, I also downloaded the entire first 2 seasons of Severance. So I started watching Severance. So I've watched like the first 3 episodes. So I watched an episode of that. It wasn't a long flight, the first leg. So I only got through like 1 episode. I'm enjoying it. I like it. I'm interested to see where it's going. And, yeah, I just kind of like, I started feeling better about like an hour and a half into the flight. By the time we landed, I was like fine. I was feeling a lot better. Stomach was still kind of eh. But so I got off in Atlanta, and then you know, had like an hour and a half before the next flight, and you know, did the thing where it's like, all right, got to go find my gate to make sure it exists. Sat down for a few minutes, figured out what I wanted to do, and I was like, I'm kind of hungry, because it had already been like three hours since lunch. So I just stopped in a Dunkin' Donuts, grabbed a couple of donuts as like a little sugar snack, and I'm like, yeah, this will be fine, because like I'll get on the plane to SF, and by the time I land, it'll be like, you know, around 7 or 7:30 ish. West Coast time, and I'm like, good. I'll be like, yep, I'm hungry. I want dinner. I'll probably just grab something, you know, around there, or if I feel like I want to just get to my Airbnb, I'll just book it there, and then, you know, go to like a local place. So this is where the problem started. This is where the adventure started. So I went, so I got on the plane. And I was one of the last to board, and they're like, yeah, we're full up. Like, we don't have enough room for carry-ons in the overhead bins. So, like, they were taking, like, the last people to get on board. They were taking their bags as, like, check bags. So they checked my bag, which is fine. I didn't want to deal with it anyway. But, like, there's a risk, right? It's like, oh, like, they take your bag, and then they could lose it, right? But I would kind of, at this point, I'd rather they just take it, and then I don't have to worry about putting it in an overhead bin. So I was kind of like, whatever. It'll be fine. If I lose it, it's just closed. I mean, it is a nice bag. I paid like $200 or more for it, but so they took the bag, and then I got on, and then we start taxiing, and then we get to, you know, the runway, and there's a couple planes in front of us, and then we like pull off to like part of the taxiway that, you know, is like off to the side, and then we're kind of like sitting there for a few minutes, and then like there's like more planes like piling up to the left of us, getting in line for takeoff, and I'm like, well, this is interesting. Why are we pulling off? Are we like too early? Because I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, we left too early. They got to send off like the other flights ahead of us. And then like after about like 15 minutes, the captain comes on, and he's like, I can't remember what he said exactly, but it was just like, so we have a problem with the right engine. It's not running, or something like that. And he explained it. And what's really cool about like, you know, flying is like the crew is very open about like what's going on. Like they tell you pretty much exactly what's going on. So like we had a good idea of like, oh, okay, there's an engine issue, right? And it's like we can't take off with an engine issue. So we go back to the gate. They call in the mechanics. I'm pretty far back, so I'm on a 757, and I'm behind the wing. I have like a bulkhead seat, so I'm right up against like the galley. So I actually had 2 windows, which was awesome. I had 2 windows I could see out of, so it was like widescreen view, which was cool. And I could see down, like just barely see like under the wing, so I could see like the rear of the port side engine. It was funny because they said it was the right engine, but it was actually the left engine. So I could see the port side engine, and then the mechanics roll up in their little carts, and then there's like 4 or 5 of them. They're getting out. They're like, you know, they open up the cowling, they're inspecting it and doing something. And I think we were sitting there for like, I don't know, it was like at least like 30 minutes. So we're already like an hour like late. They finish what they're doing, they button it back up. Captain comes on, he's like, all right, you know, they found the issue. What the issue was, it was like a valve for the bleed air in the engine, and it was not, I think it was not like closing appropriately, or wasn't like working appropriately. The actual mechanics, yes, the airline mechanics, sorry, the Delta mechanics. And so they button up the engine. They're like, yep, it was like a pneumatic valve. And what they did is like they switched it to an alternate valve. So it's like, you know, there's like redundancy in these engines. They can like change things up. If one thing's not working, they can turn it over to the backup. So they switched it to an alternate valve. And what bleed air is like, you know, the way an aircraft starts, or the way I understand it is, you either have like what they call a start cart on the ground, which gets one engine up and running, or you have on airliners what's called an APU, an auxiliary power unit. So there's actually like it's a smaller engine on a plane that starts up first, which is the APU, and then it gets one of the engines going, and I think in this case it was the port side engine. And then when the port side engine spools up, it uses what's called bleed air, which is like air that passes through the engine and it gets diverted to power other things. So this includes starting up the starboard side engine. This includes the air conditioning systems in the plane, what they call the packs, the AC packs. And they also, you also use bleed air for, I think it's for some other things as well. But essentially, it was not working correctly, so they couldn't get the starboard engine started up because they didn't have the bleed air from the port engine. So the mechanics finished the work. They're like, all right, we're good to go. So we start taxiing again. I think at this point it's like close to 1.5 to 2 hour delay. So we start taxiing again. We get out to the runway again. We're sitting there in line. Captain comes on and he's like, really sorry about this. We need to go back to the gate again. The mechanics called us back and said that they're not sure they did the procedure appropriately and they want to double check it just to make sure. And we're like, oh my God. So we go back to the gate. They call in a second group of mechanics to come in to inspect the job. I see them rock up after about like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. They look at the engine, they button it back up. Captain comes on, he's like, all right, they inspected it, they did do the thing right. And he explained the whole thing. He was like, yeah, there was like one of the mechanics that worked on it. He followed the procedure, but he wasn't sure if one of the settings was set correctly on this kind of related thing. And instead of, just not doing anything about it and forgetting about it, they want to make sure that they didn't just doom an entire plane of 230 odd people. So on one side it was like, damn, this sucks, but on the other side it's like, I'm thankful that somebody who wasn't sure if they did the job correctly was able to speak up and let us just make sure everything was fine. But then we had to wait even longer because we were reaching the point at which the flight crew was over time. And there are laws about and regulations about how long a flight crew can work on an airliner. And they were reaching the end of, their allowed amount of time to work. So they had to switch out flight attendants. So we had to wait for new flight attendants to come in. And that was another 30-minute wait. And then when the flight attendants got on, we then got another announcement from the captain saying now they gotta get more catering on board because the food that had been sitting on board is not, I guess it wasn't good anymore. They also were trying to see if they could get us meals, more catering, more meals, so that we could actually fucking eat something. Because basically this has turned into a 4-hour delay at this point. So we've been sitting on this plane for 4 hours. And it's a 5-hour flight, so it's basically a 9-hour adventure at this point. So they get all that on. We leave 4 hours late. Takeoff went normally, no issues there. People were sweating. People were like, I don't know. Some people actually did get off the plane. They were like, nope, I'm getting off. They allowed them to get off during all the mechanical work that was going on. But if we did get off, it would be we would have to claim our baggage later. We would have to fill out forms and things like that, and I didn't want to deal with that. I'm just I trust that they're doing everything that they need to do, and I really just want to get to San Francisco. So I stayed on the plane, and we take off, and then this is the biggest kick in the dick. Was basically the flight attendants come on and they say, we're really sorry, we don't have dinner service. We do have meals available for purchase, but we only have so many. We begged, the catering service and the airline to get us free meals for everybody and get everything on board, but they pushed back on us. So basically they got more meals on board than they originally had, because usually they only stock a dozen or so meals for purchase when you're flying on a trip like this, and they'll sell you lunch or dinner for between $10 and $14, which I think is pretty reasonable for a flight. But they didn't have enough for everybody. So I'm pretty far back in the plane. They're, you know, people are buying meals, and I'm like, God, I hope they have something, because I'm starving at this point. I'm just fucking starving. The row in front of me was the very last row to get a purchasable meal, and then they were out, and I was like, God fucking damn it. I didn't say anything, but I was like, God damn it. I was like really like, oh my God, I just need some food. I just want some food. And all they had was like Sun Chips. They had Sun Chips. So I got this itty bitty bag of like 10 Sun Chips in it and a Coke, and that was my dinner. And it was like 9 p.m. Pacific time or 8 p.m. Pacific time, so it was already like really late for me. It was already like 11 o'clock normally. And I hadn't eaten anything except like 2 donuts back at like 3 p.m. or whatever. So I was really hungry. I just was like, whatever, man. I wasn't, my stomach wasn't like going crazy. So pack snacks for flights. Yes, absolutely. Pack some snacks. Basically all I had bought in the airport when I left originally was like Altoids and some gum. So that's all I really had in my pack. But yeah, I wish I had brought some more snacks. I just didn't expect this to happen. This is the first time I think I've ever had that much of a delay happen on a flight before. But anyway, got in. I was just thankful to get to San Francisco. So I landed about, oh my God, I don't even know what time it was, 10:30 Pacific time. So that's 11, 12. That's like 1:30 a.m. East Coast time. Originally my plan was I was gonna do like a mass transit adventure. I was gonna take the train, the BART, from the airport up to downtown SF, and then kind of, you know, fuck around for an hour, and then take the road trolleys or whatever you call them down to my Airbnb. But that would have been like an hour and a half. And I was just like, I just need to get to my Airbnb. So I got a lift. It was about a 20-minute drive. Get to my Airbnb, just like, bam, like put everything on the ground, decompress for a few minutes, and then I ordered dinner. So I got this like very delicious quesadilla burrito thing. It's called a Suiza. So I got this thing called a Super Suiza. It's basically just like carne asada, cheese, guacamole, and sour cream in just like a big fat burrito, and that's what I'm gonna have for my lunch in a few minutes when I go back before I head into downtown. And it was so fucking good. I just wolfed that thing down. About half of it. I wolfed about half of it down, and I had a horchata and a churro for dessert, and it was so good. And I just chilled for a bit. I mean, I was so doped up on Dramamine at this point. You know, it kind of makes me sleepy. It kind of makes me drowsy and tired. And I was just kind of out of it. It really felt like a fever dream yesterday. It was just kind of bizarre. Just that whole adventure, just an entire day lost to traveling. But I'm not upset about it. I'm not salty about it. It's just kind of like a thing you get through, and it's like, good. I'm glad I'm done with that. I can just like move on now. But it's a fun story anyway. It's a cool thing that happened. I met some interesting people along the way. So, yeah. So now I'm here, and I'm gonna be a tourist for a couple of days before Offkai. And I don't know, it's just kind of relaxing now. I had a really good night's sleep. The Airbnb is really nice. It's just like a one floor studio apartment, big bed, nice little kitchenette. You know, they got coffee in the room, and a microwave and a fridge and everything, and fresh towels. And the shower is cute because it's like very beach style, so it's like a boardwalk, like wood floor slats with like stone underneath. So it's like a cute little shower. Let me catch up on chat here. There's a reason the space shuttle had 3 flight computers. Yep, we need that redundancy for sure. Fun fact, on the F-16 fighter jet, the AP uses a highly toxic chemical, hydrazine. Yeah, I'm familiar with hydrazine. Random encounters. Yeah, that's the fun part about traveling. You get these random encounters. It's just really cool. Oh my god, I'm so chilly right now. But yeah, the Airbnb is cool. I like it. The neighborhood's really cute. You know, it's very quiet here. Not a lot of people around. The architecture of San Francisco is really cool. All these like beachfront homes, they all have like really big like picture windows. Like everyone's got a lot of windows. It's like pretty different from East Coast architecture, and everything's like built, you know, right up next to each other. So it's like cute neighborhoods. But I haven't really like gone anywhere yet. Like I said, I just kind of dropped in a convenience store and then I went right to the beach. But you know, it's beautiful here. The hills are really cool. I haven't really seen much yet because it's very foggy today. So let me give you a view down the beach. So that's what I'm looking at right here. The dunes are awesome. There's like this windmill thing off there. I don't know what that windmill thing is. And then there's, you know, I think that's Golden Gate Park up there with the hills. So if I had more time, I would probably go walk all the way down there and go explore the park. But I don't think I have time for that. But I will be going to see the Golden Gate Bridge on the boat tour today. So I'm really looking forward to that, and we're gonna get a good view of Alcatraz Burb. Yeah. So good stuff. And I saw, when I was decompressing last night, I saw Big Ham streamed some of my model rigging. So she's getting started on the model rigging, and I was watching a little bit of that tomorrow with my Catboy breakfast before I left for the beach. So really exciting. I post a link to that in the Discord if anyone wants to watch. I know that some people don't want to watch the rigging process because they want to get the full effect once it's done. They want to enjoy my debut, my full-on debut. Hey buddy, hey, how you doing? Hi. I don't have anything for you. I got a dog here. Hi. Hey, I don't have anything for you. No, I don't have anything for you. Somebody's dog just visiting me. I'm not a big fan of dogs off leashes, personally. I don't like, you know, like as trustworthy as you think your animal is, they're still animals. Like they can still have a moment where they get upset. So not big on that, but you know, he was very friendly, very sweet. But yeah, Big Ham's doing the modeling for my, doing the rigging for my model, and I know that some people were like, "No, let's not. I don't want to watch that because I want to get the full debut," and I totally get that. So anything that's like model rigging related that I post in the Discord, I'll definitely like spoiler it and just let people know what it is I'm posting. So if you don't want to see it, but yeah, I'm really excited. Really excited. That was the worst part about my beach job, having to tell people to leash their doggos. Yeah, it's like you want them to be able to roam free, but like we live in a society, so we gotta make sure that, you know, we're keeping everybody safe, and you know, you don't want to have an incident happen and then, you know, what happens to people and what happens to your pet and things like that. So if I ever get a dog again, I would definitely always keep them on a leash. Personally, I just think that that's the best route to go. But yeah. So yeah, really excited for the model stuff. What else? What else is going on? Excited for Off-Kai. Just really excited for Off-Kai. Friday's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna try and leave like pretty early because I want to get down to the convention center. Hopefully the hotel will take my bag for me before check-in. I'll have to see. Otherwise, I might have to find somebody's car to stick it in, or one of those like bag services where they can just hold your bag for the day. There's probably quite a few of those down in San Jose. I know we have a lot of them in New York City. I've used them a couple of times. And yeah, just looking forward to seeing all my friends and meeting people and going to panels and having good food, getting margaritas with Lala. I know she's really excited to get margs. I love the sound of the ocean. It's just so nice. Anyway, mechanics, what are you up to? What are you up to today? I hope you're having a good work week. I hope you're not working. I don't want to work. I was thinking about like extending my vacation the week I get back. Just take like a few more days off, because like I do have a lot of stuff going on, but I don't know. The thing is like you use that vacation time now, then you don't have it later in the year. Maybe later in the year I want to do like, I don't know, maybe I want to do like a subathon or a streamathon or something. I've been thinking about doing that for the debut, the model debut. Maybe I do like a subathon for the model debut, or like an endurance stream, like a 24-hour event or like something like that. I'll think about it. I've been thinking of, you know, plans for that, because like after this trip I'm gonna be kind of like out of like money for a bit, so like I think this is just gonna be like my one stream for the year, and my one vacation for the year, not my one stream for the year. I'm gonna be streaming all the time. What the fuck? One day I want to meet the internet friends too. Hell yeah. I got tomorrow for Juneteenth at least. Yeah, I've got that was a nice thing planning this vacation. It's during Juneteenth, which I get off already, and so I got to subtract like one day from my planned vacation PTO usage. No, don't worry, I'm gonna keep streaming. My one big vacation for the year. Yeah, vacation in terms of like going somewhere, but I do have plenty of vacation time to take for later in the year. So I'll definitely set up some longer term, you know, subathon type things. Get some plans in order. That should be fun. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think there's really much else going on. Kind of talked about all my plans. I'm not thinking about the trip home yet. Like, I'm not even worried about that. I'm definitely in a different state of mind than I would have been like a year or two ago. It's a lot easier for me to kind of like encapsulate things and just enjoy things in the moment instead of like worrying about what's upcoming. Because I'm just confident. I'm just more confident in myself about like, oh yeah, I can tackle whatever these challenges are. I can get through it. It's fine. Because I know that I prepare enough, and I know that, like, you know, I'm good. I'm good. I know how to handle stuff at this point. Californication. I haven't done any of that yet. Haven't done any of that yet. But yeah, it's just very chill. I feel very, very zen, very vibe right now. Man, it's only 10:30. That's crazy to me. It's only 10:30. Oh my god, the bed was so comfy though. The bed was so comfy. It's just like one sheet and a very nice comforter, but like the sheet is just like so soft. And I was just like very, very comfy. And like because it was such a long traveling experience, it was basically like 4:30 East Coast time before I went to bed, so it was like 1:30 Pacific. And I just like, I got in bed, I watched a little bit of Big Ham stream VOD, and then I just like conked out. And I woke up probably, I don't know, like 7:30. So I got like, you know, at least 6 hours, and then I like slept in for another hour. I went back to sleep. Have you dreamed of it? I have not. But yeah, it was real comfy. Damn, this is just a vibe, isn't it? The beach. I love just listening to the waves. It's real choppy out there too. I saw a bunch of people surfing earlier. I don't know if it's good waves for surfing. Actually, they're going pretty high out there now that I see it. Here, let me get a little focus on the... Can I focus out there? Yeah, there we go. The autofocus seems to be like in and out. The call of the deep. Yeah, it's not calling to me because it's too cold, but I did put my hand in the water. I'm debating putting my feet in the water just because my toes are already cold, and then I'd have to like dry them off and put my socks back on. So I don't really feel like getting my feet wet, but Well, the sun, I can feel the sun poking through at least. Is even cooler at night. It is. Yeah, it's like, I think last night it was like 70 during the day, 56 at night, but it's like 56 right now. That's the nice thing about the Bay Area, it seems like, is it stays pretty cool. It stays very temperate. Like a lot. I looked at when I was booking here. I'm like, oh, I definitely need like an Airbnb with like air conditioning, because like I get very uncomfortable if I'm hot at night. But like I think like the vast majority of places here do not have air conditioning because they simply don't need it. Even with like global warming, it still stays like pretty cool for the most part. I'm sure they get hot days in the summer. But June is still, I think, too early for it to get hot at all. So it was very, very comfy sleeping. Did not need AC. But they got like a serious like air purifier in this place, like a really heavy duty one. I think they bought it during like COVID because they didn't want to lose business. So they made sure to have like heavy duty air purifier, because like most of the language on the Airbnb like house rules or whatever say like, oh yeah, like follow all COVID-19 protocols. Like they still all have all that stuff there. But yeah, it's just very comfy. Yeah, there's people surfing out there. That's awesome. Doggos. Everybody got doggos. Anyway, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. So, hope you mechanics have a good rest of your day. And those of you coming to OFCAI, I look forward to seeing you and spending time with you and going out to eat and doing all that. So I'm gonna go explore San Francisco. I'm gonna go enjoy myself. And yeah, I mean, walking cats would be interesting. You can walk cats. You can put them in a harness with a leash. I have a harness for my cats. One of them likes going outside. The other one doesn't. Only for a little bit at a time. But yeah, hope you all have a good rest of your day. And I don't know. I might do an off collab later with Saku when she gets here during OFCAI weekend. But no promises. And yeah, I'll catch you all on the Discord. So join the Discord if you haven't already. Can I chat? Where's the chat button? Someone wants to do !Discord in the chat to give everybody the link. I think it's linked in the About section below anyway, so you can just grab it there. Yeah, so I'll be posting some of my adventures in Discord. Oh, I don't have the bot running. That's right. I don't have Mix It Up running, so we don't have the bot. Anyway, all right, you can just click the link down at the bottom. Most of you are in there already, so. All right, everybody, have a great day. I'll catch you later, and stay safe out there. All right, bye. Bye, 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 bye.